He spent 18 years building his business. He employed 12 people. He generated $2 million in annual revenue. He lived the American dream. The financial crisis destroyed it all in 18 days. His name was Michael Chen. He was 26 years old in 1990 when he started his HVAC business in Phoenix, Arizona. He had no business degree. No family money. No network. He had a truck, some tools, and a dream. He worked 80-hour weeks. He installed heating and air conditioning systems. He built relationships. He was good at what he did. Small business success rate in first 5 years, 20%. Michael was in the 80% that fails. But he survived. By 2000, Michael had 3 employees and $400,000 in annual revenue. By 2005, he had 8 employees and $1.2 million in revenue. By 2007, peak year, he had 12 employees and $2.1 million in revenue. Michael's business, small but solid. Profitable every year. Growing steadily. The definition of American entrepreneurship. Michael was proud. He had created a company. He had created jobs. He supported 12 families. He made good money, about $150,000 per year. Not rich, but comfortable. Middle class. Secure. He owned the building his business operated from. He had invested in equipment and inventory. His company was his life's work. In September 2008, the financial system collapsed. Banks that had been lending freely suddenly stopped. Credit froze. The entire economy locked up. For small business owners like Michael, this was catastrophic. Michael's business depended on credit. He had a $200,000 line of credit with his bank for operating capital. This line of credit allowed him to buy equipment, pay workers before customers paid him, and manage cash flow. On September 15, 2008, the day Lehman Brothers collapsed, his bank called. They said, "We're freezing all lines of credit effective immediately. You can't borrow another cent." Bank credit freeze in 2008, 80% of small businesses lost access to credit lines within 30 days. Michael tried to explain, "My business is profitable. I've never missed a payment. I'm not asking for new credit, just access to what I already have." The bank said, "Nothing personal. Policy change. System-wide." Michael's credit line, his business lifeline, was gone. Without credit, Michael couldn't operate. He had outstanding invoices from customers, money owed to him that he was waiting to collect. But those invoices took 30 to 60 days to get paid. In the meantime, he had to pay workers weekly, pay equipment suppliers monthly, and pay his building mortgage. Without credit to bridge the gap, he couldn't make payroll. In October 2008, Michael had to lay off his entire staff. All 12 employees. Gone. He tried to tell them the economy had frozen. He tried to promise they'd be rehired when things improved. But they had bills. They had families. They couldn't wait. They had to find new jobs immediately. By November, they were all gone. Unemployment rate in late 2008 rose from 6% to 10% in months. Construction workers were hit hardest. Michael's customers also disappeared. In 2007, he had a 2 to 3 month backlog of HVAC jobs. By October 2008, nobody was scheduling new HVAC installations. Nobody was spending money. Michael's revenue went from $2.1 million in 2007 to essentially zero in November 2008. Michael started burning through his savings to keep the business alive. He had about $80,000 in business savings. He expected to survive 4 to 5 months while the economy recovered. But the economy didn't recover. November became December. December became January. His $80,000 was gone in 8 weeks. Cash burn rate for small business with no revenue, average small business burns $10,000 to $15,000 per month in fixed costs. In December 2008, Michael couldn't make his building mortgage payment. He called his bank. He explained the situation. He asked for forbearance, a temporary pause on payments. The bank said, "No. Pay or we foreclose." His commercial property was foreclosed on in January 2009. Michael lost not just his business, but the building that housed it. He had invested $200,000 in down payments and improvements over the years. It was gone. Michael's losses: $2.1 million business, revenue stream equals $400,000 per year lost, $200,000 building equity, $80,000 savings equals $680,000 in value destroyed. Michael had personally guaranteed his business debts. This is common for small business owners. Banks require personal guarantees to secure business loans. It means if the business fails, the owner is personally liable for the debt. Personal guarantee makes small business owner personally responsible for all business debts. If business owes $400,000, owner owes $400,000. Michael had a $300,000 equipment loan personally guaranteed. He had a $150,000 building mortgage personally guaranteed. He had $85,000 in business lines of credit personally guaranteed. Total personal liability, $535,000. Creditors started suing Michael personally. They won judgments against him. Michael's home was at risk. Karen's savings were at risk. Their retirement accounts were threatened. They filed for Chapter 7 personal bankruptcy in 2009. Small business bankruptcy filings in 2009, 60,837, highest in 20 years. Michael lost everything. His house was sold to pay creditors. His retirement accounts were frozen. His personal possessions were inventoried. His credit was destroyed. At age 50, after 18 years of work, Michael had a net worth of negative $200,000. Michael's net worth in 2007, $450,000, home equity, business equity, savings. Net worth in 2010, minus $200,000, after bankruptcy and settlement. He had lost $650,000 in value. A decade and a half of work, erased in 18 days. Michael's bank received a government bailout. In October 2008, Congress passed the Troubled Asset Relief Program, TARP. The government committed $700 billion to bail out banks. TARP bailout, $700 billion to banks. Result: banks resumed lending to themselves and large corporations. Small businesses, $0 assistance. Michael's bank, which had frozen his credit line, received $25 billion in government money. The bank used this money not to lend to small businesses, but to shore up its own balance sheet and pay executive bonuses. Bank CEO bonuses in 2009, year after bailout record high. JP Morgan Chase CEO, $27 million. Bank of America CEO, $12 million. Goldman Sachs Partners, $430 million total in bonuses. Michael received nothing. Congress offered no relief for small business owners. No bailout. No forgiveness. No assistance. Michael had to file bankruptcy and rebuild from scratch. Small business assistance in 2008 to 2009, $35 billion in loans, not grants, with strict qualification requirements that most destroyed businesses couldn't meet. The message was clear: banks are too big to fail. Small businesses are expendable. Michael took a job as an HVAC technician working for another company. He made $45,000 a year. A fraction of what he had earned as a business owner. Karen took a job as an office manager. $38,000 a year. Together, they made $83,000 a year, less than Michael alone had earned in 2007. It took 8 years to rebuild their credit. 8 years to get to a point where a bank would even consider lending to them. By 2017, Michael considered starting another HVAC business. But he was 59 now. He had lost a decade. Michael's lost income opportunity, 2008 to 2017, earning $45,000 to $60,000 per year instead of $150,000 per year equals $900,000 to $1.05 million in lost income. He never started another business. The risk was too great. The trauma was too deep. Michael worked as an employee until his retirement at 67 with a modest 401k and Social Security. He built something remarkable once. The system destroyed it and offered no path forward. If you're a small business owner, Michael's story is your warning. How to protect your small business. 4 critical moves. 1. Never put everything into a personal guarantee. Negotiate personal guarantee limits with lenders. Accept guarantees only for amounts you could realistically pay personally. Keep personal and business finances separate. Consult a business attorney before signing anything. 2. Build business cash reserves, not just operating capital. Most small businesses fail not because they're unprofitable, but because they run out of cash. Keep 6 to 12 months of fixed costs in reserve. This saved Michael, except he didn't have enough. You need more than you think. 3. Diversify your customer base and revenue sources. Michael depended entirely on new HVAC installations. When construction stopped, he had zero revenue. Have multiple revenue streams. Don't let one market collapse destroy your entire business. 4. In crisis, fight for forbearance immediately. Michael waited too long. When cash flow stops, contact your lenders immediately. Ask for forbearance, payment delays, loan modifications. Most lenders will work with you if you communicate early. Silence is treated as default. I built something from nothing. I created jobs. I paid my employees well. One market collapse, and it was all gone. The system bailed out the banks that destroyed me. I had to rebuild alone. If you're an entrepreneur, prepare for systemic collapse. Because it will happen. And when it does, you're on your own.